go to our YouTube channel for more recipes. Please subscribe. On the marathon, it was a Sunday, talking to all these different people.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited to do the marathon for next year.
Great, yes.
But without the right preparation, it's a big challenge.
It's difference between having a fun and positively memorable event and accomplishment and achievement, or not. No, it's,
So that's why we have you here, to give us the right advice.
I'll give it all. I'll give it all.
Right
Thanks,
on.
brother. Thank you.
We have 5 egg whites. We'll put it right on the baking tray. Then we're gonna put fresh spinach. So you take a nice chunks of feta and you crush them in. And now we're gonna put it in the oven, 400, 10 to 12 minutes. Jose, you think it's ready?
It's ready.
Wow, it looks beautiful. And now we're gonna put in a whole wheat wrap. So we have the whole wheat wrap, and then we're gonna put it back in the oven because I think when the wrap gets toasted, it tastes much better. Joel, what we got in the front of us?
Oh my gosh, my favorite. Egg whites, feta cheese, spinach. Man, I'm just going to gobble this down. I hope you don't mind. We're going to get this on film.
Oh yes, and your lentil soup is there.
With the top lentil soup.
And I have my chicken soup here. And I want to remind people, if you want to get the recipe for the lentil soup, I have it Eat with Steve on the
Oh, right
YouTube
on.
channel,
Oh,
and
cool.
the chicken soup. So
Yeah.
if I would like to run the marathon for next year, when I should start training?
Right. Well, start thinking it as like a lifestyle. So now we're 12 months out from the race itself. So this is the time to kind of build your foundation. Make sure that if you have any injuries you're dealing with, and even if it's psychological, you want to just kind of get everything resolved. Go see a therapist for a few months. Really, or get a coach or something like a life coach, and just get your mind, your muscles, and your molecules aligned for the next year, and maybe a few months after that next year. So it's really like a 50-month process. You want to have the most enjoyment and minimize the overuse that you're going to be putting your body through for that one day.
Because I know somebody did the marathon, he didn't train properly,
Oh gosh.
and he was injured for 2 years.
As it gets
So
closer.
starting, how many miles you start, and like closer you getting? I don't know.
It's really, I would go by time. I would say, like, let's say you are projecting that it would be like, you'll average like a 10-minute mile. I would say go out and run or walk for 10 minutes a day. So whatever that distance is. I would say I wouldn't, so I would go the first month at just like go out for whatever the distance for 1 mile. And then I would say like try to go a little bit further. I would say still try to like go further in that 8 minutes if you're practicing.
Okay. And then, like, say 6 months from now, like how many
6
miles?
months from now, you
How
would
many
definitely,
miles you got to put a week?
Again, I would go by time,
Yeah.
and depending on if it's a long duration workout, then you would do once a week. You would go like maybe like it's like do 10 miles, and then next week 11 miles, 13 miles, like that, and progress that way.
You think every like 3 months you have to judge, like what do you think?
Yes, I mean you're always judging every workout. Like, okay, what is right for me now?
Right.
If you're feeling like, oh, let me just push it, let me just try a little harder, you're probably doing yourself a disservice, and then they end up hurting yourself, and then you blame running and stuff like that, or they blame the coach or the everything, and then sometimes we think we are like an underachiever, like, oh, I gotta work harder, let me just try a little bit more, otherwise I suck, and I'll prove it, and then you will end up proving that you suck, or not achieving your goal. But I really like steady and progressive is the way to go.
Easy does it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't
easy.
force nothing,
No
because
force, yeah.
forcing it can cause you an injury, and
Yeah.
injury takes
Yeah.
a while to recover.
Right, and if you don't get it this time, okay, there'll always be another marathon, and you could always just use the foundation training you had the first year, for that next race.
Say the first 3 months,
It's great.
how much time you have to put like daily, what I mean?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, depending on what your work schedule is like. Some people
Right.
work weekends and they take a weekday off. But let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And then, let's say Saturday, it's 60 minutes. And if you're feeling overly tired, push it to Sunday.
Okay. And that's for how long this, and then you increase?
I would say that's the first 6 months.
6 months.
And
Okay.
then I wouldn't change anything during the week, but I would do longer runs on the weekends.
So you see how your endurance,
to
how's
see
your
where
lungs.
you're at, exactly, yeah.
So what do you remember when you did the marathon? What was the challenge?
Nutrition. It always
Nutrition.
comes down to nutrition, because what worked last race doesn't always work identical to this race. And, as your body ages, like, I think nutrition is the big thing. I would say also, off the event day and training is like, proportioning my time sleeping. Sleeping is so fast. Restoration is so vital.
What do you eat before the race so your body will have enough fuel to keep you going?
Like, I'm a big sweet potato person,
Okay.
so I'll have that. I incorporate a little more rice, with my wife, coming from a Latin culture where
Right.
rice is part of it. I keep it simple. I don't do a lot of like these gels and like processed stuff that are supposed to enhance your performance or like give you the sugars that you need.
Right.
I try to keep it as simple as possible. Now again, I try to. Now sometimes during the race, before I went to sweet potatoes, I had baked potatoes. Really bad idea, especially on a hot day. And you get to like mile 13 and you stored like some baked potatoes and it's so dry that
Yeah.
you end up coughing because
So you carry the potatoes with you in the race?
Well,
So
most of
you
the time
kinda
it's like
eat
I
it
leave it at a
slowly?
certain time or I have people meet me at a certain
Oh,
location.
nice. That's a good tip. Because I never thought about the part, the potato gets so dry.
It's really
like-
bad. I remember Ironman Canada in Penticton in 2010. I thought I was gonna die. I had to walk like that for half a mile.
Oh, man.
And then I was like, oh gosh, I just made enough. But it was really scary.
So what do you, with shoes, what do you suggest? Like, because shoes is your wheels.
Yeah.
So it's really
I
important
suggest
to have
come
good
see
shoes.
me and meet me in person,
Okay.
and we will find what's right for your foot. Same thing with clothing.
And then you train Kenny, right?
I trained Kenny, and Billy also as well with
Really?
the one leg. Yeah, he
Right.
does the cycle, so it's all about upper body.
How long did you work with Kenny to get him ready for the marathon?
It's face to face about 50 hours a year, over the year. It's a little bit more, but I would say the concentrated time. And then it's like, coaching calls and stuff like that. So you're looking at about 100 hours.
Wow. This has definitely been a good awakening to understand more. Like,
Yeah.
it's
There's so much we could spend hours just talking about how to prep perfectly, precisely.
But I know you for a while, and I always appreciate your knowledge. So what is the best way to get in touch with you?
www.joefitnessworld.com.
And thank you to you, because this way I'm sitting down and eating this amazing meal.
Great, awesome.
All right, Joe.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.